Why do we suffer at the hands of these politicians? Don't you know politicians work for you? Hey! You're the boss. You hire them and you fire them. Look at their campaign. You know what they do? They audition. Yeah! When you put them on the job, if they're not doing the job, then you fire them. Because you're in control. From the city to the state to Congress to the president. You run this.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Talk Labor. And you're here with Jerry Williams. And this is the place where we come and talk about everything. You know, I try to tell you all the time, you know, when things are on your mind, talk about it. When things are happening, talk about it. You see all the garbage that's going on with this orange-haired guy. This farce that he's doing with this guy, Kim Jong-un. I can't believe that the media covers it the way they do. What I mean by that is not dig into what the facts are. Now, when you get in some of the cable stations, they get into the facts about what's going on with this guy. He's trying to do his reality show worldwide. He's causing all kinds of havoc. He's attacking our allies and cuddling up with our adversaries. This man is a puppet of Vladimir Putin. He is doing everything that this Russian criminal want him to do. Some people say that the guy's got something on him. I don't think so. I think he's just a damn fool. I heard a guy say on the radio the other day, I've been saying it for 100 years, here's a 6th grader that got elected president. This is what happened. And people are trying to normalize him. You can't do that. He's a damn fool. He's a damn fool. So I don't want to spend a whole lot of time talking about this idiot. But I do want to talk about police brutality. Folks, go and look up these things yourself. You see these guys beating African American men, beating African American women. I saw them beating a white woman the other day. They just didn't got happy with that stuff. They came in and told these two brothers who was doing nothing, get down on your knees. You know, the guy said, why should I get down on my knees? There was about 5 or 6 of them. I said, get down on your knees. What did I do? I said, and start beating this man in the face and stuff. Now I want you to watch this film, but he started beating this guy in the face, a black man. I was so angry, but the thing is, I said this to you a long time ago. When you get a look at the videos, you'll see what we've been talking about. Now, it's enough to whine and bitch and moan about it. We got to come up with something to do about it. And that's what we got to do. Now, I want you to take a look at this video, and you'll see what I'm talking about. As far as these guys jumping on people and you know, acting like they're some kind of animals. Then they attack these two kids of color. No reason. And then the city had to pay these kids over $500,000 because of what these guys did. And this guy, the guy that did all the beating and stuff, is still on the police force. Now, does that make sense to you? If it makes sense to you, then you're just as dumb as they are. Don't make sense to me. What makes sense to me is you gotta root this cancer out of the police department. It's been that way since the inception of police. They've been like that. So we got to root that out, okay? So take a look at this and you'll see what I'm talking about.
2 Tacoma teenagers have been awarded more than $500,000 in federal court for a 2014 confrontation with police. Monique Tillman and her brother were riding their bikes in a Tacoma Mall parking lot when officers stopped them. New witness video we just obtained tonight shows off-duty officer Jared Williams throwing Monique to the ground and using his taser. The teen said they did nothing wrong. A jury agreed and awarded them $550,000. Officer Williams remains employed with Tacoma Police. We asked why, and we were referred to the city. We reached out to them after hours, so we are waiting to hear back. Has the story.
New witness video obtained tonight provides a closer look at what happened in 2014. Tacoma police officer Jared Williams slamming Monique Tillman to the ground and using his taser. She was 15 years old at the time. Once she's on the ground, she can be heard screaming, quote, "I'm just a kid." Her brother, Eric Branch, is behind her, pinned to the ground by Tacoma Mall security.
From the kids' point of view, they were not creating a disturbance, and they felt like they were being hassled because of the color of their skin by the security officer in the first instance and later by the police officer.
We sat down with Rick Friedman, Tillman and her brother's attorney, who fought their civil case. Today, a jury in federal court found that Officer Williams used excessive force and violated Tillman's constitutional rights. They also found that the police unreasonably seized she and her brother at the mall.
There was a security guard who said that they were creating a disturbance by riding their bikes in the road, and he said that when he went to stop them and asked them where they were going, they said, "We're going home," but then they swore at him, and so he called for the police to help stop them and issue them what's called a trespass notice, a piece of paper that says don't come back to the mall.
Friedman says Tacoma police argued in court that the officer wasn't in the wrong because he didn't violate a department policy at the time.
And we were saying, yes, everything you did was in accordance with your policy, and your policy's messed up.
Today, Monique Tillman was awarded $500,000 and her brother $50,000.
I think the lesson here is we live in a remarkable country where two poor kids with no resources can go into federal court and ask for accountability and actually get it.
In Tacoma, Jenna Hanchard, King 5 News.
Now, Officer Williams remains employed by Tacoma Police. We asked why. We were referred to the city. Now, we reached out to city officials after hours, and we are still waiting to hear back.
Okay, you see what I'm talking about, right? That is something that is hard to look at. It's really hard to look at. But we're going to move on, and I want to talk about some things that are vitally important to me and vitally important to a lot of other people that I know. And like I said, this program here is a program where we talk about stuff. We are a small program. We are a small piece of the puzzle, but we are a piece of the puzzle. You are a piece of the puzzle. You have to talk about things. Don't be afraid to. Don't be afraid that somebody's going to come and take away whatever you got. You know, say it. You control this. Listen to the theme song on my show. You know, you'll control it. But as long as you are in fear, and this is what these guys try to keep you in, fear and chaos, you know, you don't control nothing and you're just like a puppet. So, remember, you control this. Now I want to talk to people about pensions. Pensions is what's going on with pensions. I want you to pick up this book. It's called The North Shall Rise Again. This book is called The North Shall Rise Again. And it's about pensions. And it's written by Jeremy Rifkin and Randy Barber. The North Shall Rise Again. And in that book, it tells you everything about what's going on in this country. Pensions has been, and I've been talking to you about this for the longest, pension has become the cash cow in America. It funds 10 of your largest banks. Just about controls all of the pensions and all of the big pensions, including our pension. Billions and billions of dollars, you know, of workers' money. Now, who owns that? Like when you put money in the bank, like if I go and put $500 in the bank, this is my $500. I own it. I put it in the bank. When pensions are put into the banks, we don't own it anymore. We don't own it. We don't have the say-so. Management, and maybe some unions have the say-so about your pensions. The unions, they're not allowed to control it by themselves. That they can work in partnership with management and control it, which a lot of the unions do. But they're not allowed to control it themselves. Who controls that money? Who says where that money goes and don't go? I remember when I was a president of a local 308, representing the Chicago Transit Authority workers. This is during the time of the apartheid. What we did, we said that, we don't want one penny of our money supporting apartheid. We pulled everything out that had anything to do with apartheid. We did have that kind of control, but we had to work with management to do that. But we did have that kind of control. But now, who has control of those big billions and billions and billions of dollars? The Transit Authority, we had $2 billion when I left office. $2 billion is not a piece of chump change. But there are other entities like Commonwealth workers. I think they have about 30 billion. Other people have 100 billion. This is the money that finances a big portion of the United States. But they're trying to wrestle control away from every local and every union. So we got to fight that. Again, I want you to read that book because you can find out a lot of things by reading. And this book was written in 1975, I believe. It's in the 70s. And it relates totally with what's going on right now, y'all. So you got to check it out. That's The North Shall Rise Again, and that's Jeremy Rifkin and Randy Barber. Pick that book up, read it, pass it on to somebody else. If other people don't buy it, let them know what you've learned. Because if you don't do this, it's your fault. It's your fault. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I am going to take a break, and we're going to come right back. And we're going to talk about some other things that's very, very, I know that's very, very important to you. We'll be right back.
What do you wish for? A nice life? Nice things? Or do you wish for something more? A sense of purpose? Do you wish to discover a cure? To write code that cracks an unsolvable question? To further our exploration into space? Or to invent something that changes everything right here on Earth? Well, if that's your wish, make yourself ready. Because when you look back, you'll see that you didn't just make wishes, you realized them.
Okay, we're back. I hate to keep talking about this orange haired guy, but America, you got to own up to the fact that you elected a stock raving lunatic for president. You got to admit to that. If you don't admit to your problem, you'll never solve it. I don't want to talk a lot about it because I get sick of looking at him on television. But know this, y'all get ready to do what you got to do, and that is to vote. Get out and vote. Don't listen to anybody saying to you that, the Democrats don't know what they're doing, and the Democrat don't listen to none of that garbage. Get out and vote, okay? And vote heavily for people that really care about the United States of America, okay? You got people, this guy standing up talking about, these guys shouldn't be in the country because they don't salute the flag. I'm looking at a picture with this guy when he was singing the national anthem. His head was turned, his hand was not over his heart like everybody else, and it's a bunch of garbage. He tried to keep you off balance with this garbage that he's doing. So don't get into it. Don't look at that shiny object while he's stealing the money out your pocket. Don't do that. Stay focused. Stay focused, okay? Now, I want to talk about something, I guess, it's kind of funny. You hear me talk about the Me Too movement. I don't know where to go with that. You know, I don't want to offend anyone. I'm one of the most advocate persons about women's rights. I was doing this long before anybody even thought about any Me Too. You know, women's rights, I don't like to see men misuse, abuse women. You know, if it's in my presence, you know, I'm gonna put a stop to it. I grew up in a house with 4 women, my mother and 3 sisters, and I loved them. I was only about a little fella, but I always call myself protecting them, you know. And you better not say anything bad or do anything to those women, because I'm, you know, I feel that way about all women in the world, not just in America. When it came to this Me Too movement, you know, it's like it's a good thing. It's a good thing in one respect, but it's a bad thing in another. Because some women just take total advantage of that. Now I want you to take a look at this picture, and you'll see what I'm talking about. You see, when you tell me too, then I'm telling you, you should not be wearing stuff like this, and they'll tell men that you don't have a right to comment. You know, and if you walk down the street butt naked, some women say, I could walk butt naked and you shouldn't say nothing to me. I'm going to say something to you. You know, I'm going to tell you to put clothes on. 20 years ago, I'd be saying something different to you. And, you know, you got to respect yourself if you want to be respected. And you got to, if you come in, if somebody's trying to bully you or telling you you got to have sex with them before you can do the job or whatever, you should turn them in. You should do that. I agree with you 110%. But don't come in and do some of the things that I'm looking at. Take a look at the picture. Take a look at it again. You see what I'm talking about. This is nasty. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. Okay, that to me, that kind of stuff kind of hurts the Me Too movement when you're arguing about somebody said something to you about your attire and the clothes that you have on. Sometimes probably people should say something. Okay? But I tell you what, we got a lot of things happening. We got T.L. Williams is out with a new song. And that song is called Dance on Me. You need to check it out. It is awesome. Just came out about a week. And it's just about to hit the radios right now. And I know they're working on a video on that. Check that out. It's called Dance on Me. And by the way, TL is back in Chicago this weekend. He's performing at a large festival in North Chicago Saturday. So get up there and check him out. Look up Chicago Special Events Management, and it tells you about, you know, what's going on. On June 16th, you're going to see TL and the Storm Chaser Orchestra. They're going to be up north. Okay? So what I want to do, again, I want to take another break, and I'm going to come right back. Okay? We'll be right back.
Hey, loser.
Leave me alone.
When a child shares hurtful comments online, that's bullying. Visit erasebullying.ca to learn how to help your child stand up to cyberbullying.
Okay, we're back, and listen, don't forget, September 20th, Infinite Scholars. We'll be giving away those scholarship offers again. And it's going to be at the University of the Chicago State University on the south side. at King Drive, 95th on the south side. So make sure that you're there. Bring the kids, that you juniors and seniors. It's going to be awesome. We always have a great fair. So come through there September 20th at Chicago State University. This is our first year of being there. We're everywhere. We were at Inglewood. We were at Michelle Clark. We were at Butler. We were at Dunbar. We're going to be at, and we were at the Pavilion. This year we're going to be at Chicago State. So make sure you come down there and get your scholarship if you're graduating. You know, and I want to thank the Teachers Union for their great support and sponsorship. I want to thank all the people that work with us. Chicago Public Schools. I want to thank all of our investors, you know, because without them, we couldn't do it. And we're doing a fantastic job. As a matter of fact, we were honored just this week by the commissioners at the Cook County Board and the president of Cook County Board, Tony Periwinkle. So let me ask this question here. And I don't know this. Someone came to me and told me that Roseanne Barr was trying to adopt a little black kid to show that she's not racist. Tell me that that's not true. You know, email me at talklabor@gmail.com and say, Jerry, that's not true. Please. Because this woman, I think she's been a racist all her life. But she was forced to hold it in. But when they gave her that show that she had, that second time around, and they told her you could say anything you want because the orange-haired guy's in there as president now, and she let it out. She started calling black women apes. Said the other black woman, Susan, I forget Susan's name, but Susan Rice. She had balls like a man, black man. She had black man balls, and you know, this is the kind of stuff this woman. And then now they're trying to say, well, she was mentally ill. I don't want to hear that garbage, cause that's what it is, garbage. Okay, they fired her. She should. I don't think she should ever get a job again. Now they were talking about, you know, it was so harsh because the other people that was working on the show, they lost their job. You know, I feel sorry for them. I really do. Lost their job. But think about Bill Cosby. You snatched his show off the air. And think about all those other people that were getting paid. They lost their money. You're not talking about putting a spin-off on Bill Cosby's show. Well, I don't want to see a spin-off on that show. You know? If you're gonna spin off that show, then spin something off of Bill Cosby's show, so these young people can continue to get their money. Okay, so now we're gonna be talking about a fest coming up very soon that I think that you're gonna want to be a part of, and it's gonna be very nice. It's gonna be in the suburbs. I'm gonna give you more information on that and more lowdown on that as we go forward. You're really going to enjoy this. And it gives not only opportunity for young people, but it's going to be like music and dance and just everything for everybody. Okay? I'll give you more details on that after I have this meeting, which will be Thursday. I want to make sure everything is locked in. And once it's locked in, we'll be talking about it from here on. And we're going to want to see you out there because you're going to enjoy. We're going to have most of your popular radio stations there. Oh, man, you're going to really enjoy this. And to my crew at the Coalition, hey, you know what? You guys are doing a great job. You're doing a great job. The Coalition is moving forward. The lawsuit is moving forward, you all. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. The lawsuit is moving forward. I'm talking about, I'm negotiating with one of the locals who asked me to come out and speak. I don't normally do that, but I'm going to do it for this local because the gentleman asked me to come out there, and they're very polite about it, and I'm going to come out there and speak. And when I do that, I'm going to let you know about it. and hopefully they'll let you, they'll invite you to come and listen too. Okay, so that's what we do. We do here. We sit here and we talk about things, and I want you to talk to me at talklabor@gmail.com. You know, hit me with a email, and some people do. And I try to answer them as much as I can because it'll be a lot. And I try to answer as much as I can. But, you know, this show here is produced independently produced. And we're not obligated to anybody but ourselves. And we talk to you. We talk to a whole host of individuals like yourself, hoping that you will pick up on what we're saying, do your own research, start talking yourself. And if you have any questions you want to ask, you know, ask me at talklabor@gmail.com. And we'll get back to you, okay? Now, here's what I want to do too. For your homework. And I want you to grade yourself. Because if I see you out there, I'm going to ask you these questions. It's going to be a pop quiz. I'm going to pop it on you when I see you. I want you to find out who is running for what office in the state of Illinois, so you'll know who to vote for, okay? Who is running for what office in the state of Illinois, so you'll know who to vote for. The coalition's already voted to support J.B. Pritzker, but there are plenty other offices being vacated, and some that are being challenged in the state of Illinois. We want you guys to look and see who's out there so that you can come back and talk to us about it, so we can discuss it and decide who we're going to work with and vote. Because we got a good group of guys, good group of ladies and gentlemen that, you know, go out and volunteer and work. And we're going to push hard for the people that we believe in. And I know you know that there are state legislative jobs that are up for grabs. You know that there are federal jobs, the House representatives, up for grabs. Okay? And you know we supporting our 2 senators here in the state of Illinois. Okay? Those are for grabs. And then next year, right at the beginning of the year, guess what? The mayor of Chicago, that job is open. So you got to really get in and dig in and do your due diligence. Now, people think that Rahm Emanuel can't be beat. There's nobody in this world that can't be beat. And if you love Rahm Emanuel, go out there and support him. If you don't and you want somebody else, go and support him. Don't be afraid to do that. Your right. That's your right. And we got to get those federal people in there too, in the House and in the Senate. You know, not here in Illinois. Our Senate is great, but we want to knock some of these House people out of the Senate, out of the House. California's already starting to knock people out of their positions over there. So we got to do the same thing. We want to take back the House. We want to take back the Senate. And we definitely want to take back that presidency and put a grown man in there or a grown woman. I prefer a grown woman. I really do. So, okay, so just be aware and be ready to take care of that. I'll tell you what we're going to do now. Because we're getting close to the end of the show. And I want you to take a look at the person that did the first moonwalk, Bill Bailey. I mean, he did, this is back in the 1950s, early 50s, did the first moonwalk. And Michael Jackson he just perfected it. But you're going to see Bill Bailey smoke it, okay, at the end. Okay, remember what I said now. Hey, you got to talk about it. Sit down and talk about it with your neighbor, your friends. Just keep talking. And don't whine, you know, oh, he's doing this to us. Oh, Lordy, what we going to do? You better get your butt up and get to working on what you should do. and go do it, and don't be afraid of it. Talk about it, talk about it. If you're afraid to talk about it, come to Talk Labor. We'll talk about it for you, okay? This is Jerry Williams. I'm going to see you again next week, right here on this same station, Talk Labor. See ya.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you at this time one of the finest dancers that you've ever seen. Now, to stand here and make a long, long speech about him would really be keeping you away from a great treat. What? With as many Broadway appearances and nightclubs and theaters throughout the country? I bet you've seen him before. If you haven't, you're in for a great treat right now. Freddie, open the curtains, and let's bring on Bill Bailey.
My good friend. You laugh, buddy. Here's what Bojangles calls tipping down Main Street. This one. That's one of my girls like to see me do. Going for myself now.